Going on here, some copyright free music because I keep getting copyrighted, so we're just gonna look at this videos because there's not really too much to talk about in terms of, let me actually mute that, in terms of like performance and stuff, because we're not doing the AMG version today. We're going to be going over the standard S-Class non-AMG models, the ones people are more likely to get, and frankly the more reliable ones, the one that will actually stand the test of time. But as we can see, this is the W221 S-Class. If you're not familiar with what an S-Class is, fundamentally, it's literally the pinnacle of automotive technology. It's every other car basically trickles down from the technology that comes out on each S-Class. This is going to be the 5th generation S-Class, the W221. As you can see, the double screens, well, single screen right here, but this was the first luxury vehicle to have dual screens back in 2005. Wow, you see dual screens, even though there are still traditional gauges here, but dual screen setup was seen first with the 2005 S-Class W221. Compared to the W220, the W220, excuse me, the W221 had a lot more leather, metal, and wood. There was a lot less plastic. For the W220 generation of S-Class, Mercedes actually got huge flack for going backwards from the W140. That was the pinnacle of German technology, luxury, build quality, and then the W220 was just not that at all. And so they came back bigger, better, and stronger with the W221, and that's what we're going to go over today. So you can see a ton of features. But I'm sure you guys are familiar with the W221. You see them all the time now. I do predict that the W221 will become highly desirable in the near future, simply because of the price point, the design, the whole ethos of it, comparing it to the W220. And yeah, I think mostly the looks. It's a timeless look. We'll actually take a look at it exterior. Don't mind this low quality video, but this is what it is. But yeah, these look modern today, and they are 20 years old. Well, the first ones are. The facelifted ones are like 15 years old, 10 years old. I think my favorite part are the standard wheel flares, or wheel arch flares, flared arches that come on the W221. It's just such a good design. In fact, I think the interior is probably my least favorite part of the car, but I do still enjoy the interior. Also, a ton of options on these cars to go over, and we're going to go over a bunch of different engine options too, so this is probably going to be a very complicated show. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, we're just taking a look at some B-roll while some people roll in. Hey, what's going on, Bulldog? Shout out to you, man. Yep, exactly. Built in, how do you even pronounce that? Sindelfingen? Sindelfingen? But I love these. The next generation was a W222 are great as well, but for completely different reasons. The W221 was just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like the peak of combination of old school and modern technology. The new one is just all modern technology. No more old school left. This was the last of the old school. Hey, shout out to you, Bulldog. Shout out to both of y'all in the chat. What is going on, y'all? For those rolling in, as you can see, we're doing the W221 S-Class. One of my favorite S-Classes in terms of exterior design. In fact, yeah, that's it for that one. Let me just pause this generic music real quick. I got a video of one revving, so you can hear S550 specifically. We're going to go over the S350, S400, S550, and the S600. This one's the S550, the most common one you'll see. Hey, shout out to Jacob Black too in the chat. What is going on? Oh wow, that was a badly timed horn. I'll let you listen to the car. So there are two different engine options for the S550 depending on the year. This is going to be the naturally aspirated 5.5 liter. Sounds pretty good. Then obviously later they had the, I think it's 4.6, 4.7 liter twin turbo V8. But I just want to play you the sound clip for the naturally aspirated one simply because, in my opinion, this is the one to get. But we'll get into all that in a second. Oh wow, you went to the plant? That's pretty cool. I've always wanted to go to like a car factory. I've actually never been to one. Cool. Well, that wraps that up. What is going on, y'all? On Cars back again with another car buyer's guide. Today, as you can see, we're doing the W221 Mercedes S-Class. As I mentioned, one of my favorite S-Classes simply because the design is so unique compared to other S-Classes. I don't know how to describe it. The S-Class before is kind of boring. The S-Class after is also kind of boring. There's not much going on in terms of like unique design, but this W221 probably has one of the most unique designs, if not the most unique design of all the S-Classes. Yeah. Hold on, what was it saying? Oh yeah, I guess before we get into all that, quick announcements. If you haven't joined my Discord already, hit that link in the description to join. All you gotta do is, hit the link, and then if you join my Discord, you'll be eligible to win $54, not this Friday, but next Friday. I'm doing a giveaway, 100th episode giveaway. And yeah, if you want to be eligible to win, all you got to do is join the Discord, like and comment on the video, as well as subscribe to the channel, and then finally share a video with somebody or a reel. I have reels on my Instagram page, so you can share those as well. Oh, also, if you want to donate to the channel and you want extra spots in the raffle, $1 is an extra spot, and it also adds to the pot. So right now we're at $54 because I have $4 extra of spots people bought. If you want to buy an extra spot, just you know, you can either super chat it, you can cash app it, but just write in the description for the raffle, and I'll know it's not for me, it's for the raffle. Cool. What else? Yeah, just follow me on all the socials down there, and don't forget to like the video. Let's like the video right now. I'll give you a second. Yeah, I did get a haircut. People have been saying that I've been losing some weight, I guess because I've been fasting. But yeah, I watched my first video the other day, my face is like this. But yeah, hit the like button real quick for me, and we'll get into it. Cool. Features, options, and problems for the W221 S-Class. We got a ton of stuff to go over today. Yeah, so buckle up. And I hope you got your notebooks out, class, because there's a ton of information here today, and it's going to get a little confusing. I just got to highlight a whole bunch of stuff. Give me 1 second. 600, S400 hybrid, S350 Blue Tech. I'm going to do standard features. Where's that at? Facelift changes. Cool. Of course. All right. So, wow, this doesn't even fit in the screen. Can I zoom out a little bit? I'll put it in 95. That makes it a little bit harder to read, but okay, whatever. Maybe just put this back at 100, I guess. Anyway, so features of the W221 S-Class, as I mentioned before, 2007 to 2013 is going to be the model years for the W221 S-Class. In Europe, it came out in 2005, but in the United States, the first model year was 2007, with the facelift in Europe being in 2009, United States being in 2010. This is the 5th generation S-Class, and what they were proud, I don't know how to describe it, but basically it was more metal, more wood, more leather than the last S-Class. It was bigger, heavier, it was bigger in every dimension, had more weight, it was around 300 pounds heavier. I believe the lightest model was around 4,600 pounds. So it went 4,600 probably around to like 5,600 depending on what you got. There was a whole bunch of different options you can get in these cars. So the weight really varied a lot. Just know it's probably underneath like 4,800 pounds on average, maybe 49. And it was only available as long wheelbase United States. However, in other markets, this was available with the short wheelbase and a long wheelbase. I found this super surprising because I remember seeing for the first time a short wheelbase W221, and it looks really weird. Like I'm just used to seeing like the back seats, like, or the back door just being a certain size, but the short wheelbase one, the back door is super tiny. Actually, let me just pull up a picture because I think it'll be interesting to see. W221 short. See if we can find any images comparing. Yeah, this was it right here. So here is a short wheelbase S-Class, and if you're familiar with the W221, this looks really strange, unless you live in another country other than the United States. But this looks so weird to me, and yeah, only in the United States do they have the, well, the United States, China, and Japan, I believe they only had the long wheelbase. I don't know about Japan, maybe China, because China loves the long wheelbase. But yeah, only long wheelbases in the United States. That's all we're going to be looking at today. So in terms of the engine options, you had 4 different options available in the United States. You do see some S450s running around. Those are Canadian models. So if you ever see an S450, it's just still going to have a V8. It's just it's a Canadian model. So don't get that confused. Hey, shout out to you, Jacob Black, for the €1. Shout out to Jacob, always showing support. Jacob's literally in every single show. So shout out to you, man. S550. So we're going to go over these first. So the S550 went from, okay, so basically there are 2 engines for the S550. The first one being the M278. This one from 2007 to 2011. Notice how the M278 carried over a model year past the facelift. That's important. We'll talk about that later. So the M278 was a 5.5 liter naturally aspirated V8 making 383 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque. And in 2012 and 2013, the last 2 model years, they actually introduced the this is not the M278. I wrote that twice. The M278 is a turbo model. What's the, sorry, I got to bring this up because I don't want to misspeak on that. The M278 is the bi-turbo. I'm sorry, I'm just bringing up the Wikipedia because, okay, that's the M273. M273 is going to be the naturally aspirated, V8 5.5 liter. M278 is going to be the bi-turbo. So let me bring that back up. Yep, so this should be a 3, not an 8. I wish I could like change it, but I can't. Anyway, 3, not an 8. Just remember that M273 is going to be the 5.5 liter. M278 is going to be the 4.7 liter. Some people say 4.6 liter. I believe Mercedes says 4.6 liter, but it's like 4,663 cc's, so that's runs up to 4.7. This one is going to be a twin turbo version of a V8 engine, kind of similar, but twin turbo obviously is going to make 429 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. If you want the more powerful version, obviously get a 2012 or 2013. However, they're going to be, you know, less of those on the market, and they're going to go for much higher prices. For me, though, I'd recommend going the 273 route, the M273, simply because it is such a good engine. Like, it's reliable, it's powerful, it sounds good, and it just stands the test of time. It's been proven. The turbo ones are going to have all the turbo issues and plus other stuff. So you really, you can go either one. It all depends on what you value. You want more power or you want more reliability. For the S600, it was the same engine the entire time. It was the M275 5.5 liter twin turbo V12. This came with 510 horsepower and 612 pound-feet of torque. So this is the big boy. If you're not getting the S65, this is one step down. We're not talking about AMGs today, but the S65 is going to also be a twin turbo V12, except it is a 6 liter. And then same thing for the S550s. The S63 they have a naturally aspirated, the 6.2 liter, and then they have the bi-turbo, which I believe is the 5.5 liter. So, but we're not going to go over those today. And then moving on, we have the S400 hybrid, which went from 2010 to 2013, so facelifts only. This had the M272 3.5 liter V6 paired with the 3-phase magneto motor. This made a combined output of 295 horsepower and 284 pound-feet of torque. These are pretty rare. You really don't see these. These are probably going to be the most rare W221 model in the United States. And then finally, you have the S350 Blue Tech, which is diesel. This was only available from 2012 to 2013, and it uses the OM642 3-liter V6 turbo diesel engine. This engine made 240 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque, so a pretty healthy amount of torque. Again, it is a diesel, so that is to be expected. Gets gas mileage, better gas mileage. You probably get somewhere in the 30s. And yeah, if you want the diesel, they do have options for you there. Let's see. Jacob said, Japan and import very unpopular in Europe. If CO2 emissions not the restriction, you might have to have it in your country. More space for the V12 under the hood than the W220. I don't know if there's actually more space under the hood compared to the previous generation. Are you asking that in terms of like, is it easier to service? I do believe that these W220 and the W221 S600s are probably going to be in the same realm in terms of space under the hood, in terms of working on the engine. So it'll probably be the same in that regard. Let's see. All models except for the S600 use a 7G Tronic transmission. This is a 7-speed transmission. It's not a dual clutch. It's not an automatic. It's something in between. It's like this multi-plate clutch system transmission. It's Mercedes stuff. You know, I tried to explain it before, but it just confuses me. And then the S600 uses the 5G Tronic simply because it has so much torque. The 7-speed G-Tronic is not able to handle that much torque. And then in terms of safety features, so I'm going to go over these features simply because the S-Class is a pioneer of features. Every single car that you see on the road really gets its technology from the S-Class. The S-Class inspires every single luxury vehicle. Every single luxury vehicle like aspires to compete with the S-Class in terms of its technology. And yeah, that's how it is. That's how it's always been. I don't know if anyone's going to take those reins in the future, but right now the S-Class is at the forefront of luxury automotive technology and everything. Okay, it's W220 was designed to have a low coefficient of drag. I think that's what you mean, value, so a low hood. Okay. Yeah, I did not even know that. I don't really like the W220, honestly. I think it's a very boring looking car, and they look really raggedy. Like, I haven't seen one that looks nice. You barely ever see one that looks nice. Standard features. So these are going to be standard on the S-Class and kind of stuff that was pioneered by the S-Class. So we have the electronic stability program. Obviously, this stuff is a little more complicated than what it says. So electronic stability program doesn't really mean anything unless I explain it, but I don't have the explanation here. We can go over it though. You also have the brake assist / brake assist plus. So if you see any of these things that say plus, it means that it basically, if you have Distronic, that is an option for the radar guided cruise control. You have more features because it's able to use that radar guided cruise control information to you know, for safety features, for braking. So that's what brake assist is. Basically, if you're coming up to a car and it's coming up way too fast, it'll give you some assist. You also have the Speedtronic speed limiter. Basically, this was like the opposite of cruise control. It limited your speed, so you could just hit the gas and just keep the gas down, but it wouldn't go past a certain speed. Pre-safe / pre-safe plus. This was basically the system in which the vehicle adjusted the seats, the seat belts, the headrests in a way that right before a crash, you would be in the safest possible position. So it does all this really quickly right before the crash. And it does even more features if you have Distronic, obviously. Bi-xenon headlights with active light function, adaptive brake lights, seatbelt pretensioners. This was part of the pre-safe plus. Aromatic suspension was standard on all S-Classes with an optional ABC hydropneumatic system available. So all of them are going to have aromatic. If you want the ABC system, you can option that in. It was standard on the AMGs and the S600. And what was I going to say? Basically the ABC system is really problematic. Not really I don't want to say that, but it's more problematic than the aromatic suspension just because you're dealing with hydraulics. And you can't get ABC if you get a 4MATIC car, and 4MATIC means all-wheel drive. Cool. All right. And then the facelift changes. So in 2010, these were the changes. They added adaptive high beam assist. So basically the high beams are now automatic. Blind spot assist. Now you have the blind spot monitoring. Lane keep assist, speed limit assist, attention assist. These are all just safety features. Again, the S-Class is built to be very, very safe. That is what they, you know, it's technology and safety at the forefront. ABC suspension crosswind stabilization. So basically it was an updated ABC feature, and then it basically allowed the car to stay level during a crosswind. I mean, this is how nitty gritty and into the details the S-Class gets. Torque vectoring braking system, pre-safe braking with max braking. So basically in the pre-facelift version, the pre-safe and pre-safe plus wouldn't apply max braking. It would be like 60% braking, something like that. Not max braking, But with the facelift model, pre-safe now becomes max braking. So if you are in a situation where you're coming up way too fast on a car, it's going to do all the braking for you, max braking. You won't have to touch it. And night view assist plus. This is basically you can have night vision with pedestrian monitoring. This is for the facelift models only. Command with split view, dual view display. So basically the display in the center, it's able to be, how do I say this? The technology is so if the driver can look at the screen and see one thing, the passenger can look at the screen and see another thing. So it just depends on where you're sitting. You have a different view of the screen. The screen doesn't look the same. Comparatively speaking to both perspectives. I said that way too complicated. Basically, it looks different from each seat. It's a cool piece of technology, and it allows for you to watch two different things at once. And then the command APS nav replaces the DVD-based system, and then you have direct steer, which is variable ratio steering. Hey, shout out to you, DJ Inferno, in the chat. What is going on? Yeah, you are 100% correct. Very expensive to maintain. These are comparatively, like, how do I say this? Owning a W221 S-Class or any old S-Class in general, or any S-Class in general, is like owning a boat. But specifically older S-Classes, because it's easy to get them, they're cheap, but maintenance is where you get screwed. You have to spend, I'd say, like boat maintenance prices, 10% of the cost of the of what you paid for it every year on the maintaining and keeping it the same. So yeah, you are correct. Shout out to the people in the chat right now. What is going on with y'all? If you're new here, say what's up, say where you're from and what you drive. Yeah, but that goes over the standard features for the W221. Let's get on to the problems. There's some problems. It is an S-Class, so it can't completely avoid problems. Where is my sheet at? Here it is. Yeah, I kind of, well, let me read. I put something, I formatted this wrong. Give me 1 second. Cool. All right, let's copy this over and get to these problems, because I know you guys are waiting for the problems, because there are a good amount of problems with these. A good amount of them, I'd say, you have problems on the engine and then problems with the actual body. Jacob Black says the best S-Class, the W126. Hold on, is that like an 80s S-Class? I want to know. I'm actually kind of confused. W126 S-Class. Oh yeah, it was an 80s S-Class. Yeah, I do like the W216 as well. It is very, very reliable, and you can get them for a good price. So you would be correct. That is a good S-Class, and the interiors look pretty cool as well. They look, they're period. Like this looks really cool. I don't know what cloth blue interior this is, but it looks really cool. My friend had a 300D, so not a W126. What is it? W123? No. Oh yeah, W123. Yeah. Yep. W123. He had one of these. It was a turbo diesel, 5-cylinder turbo diesel, and yeah, it's from that same era. I just really like that Mercedes era. This one is yeah, it's just timeless in my opinion. I mean, not timeless. It does look old. I'm not gonna say it's timeless, but it's just really good cars. Anyway, yeah. So going back to the problems, I got to format this real quick, just right. I gotta just diesel problems. Highlight that. Get that bolded. Hybrid problems. Some of these problems they carry over between the platforms, but I'm just go over them. Just make it easy. So in terms of general problems with the S-Class W221 in general, you have the body control unit recall. This will, I'm going to go over the recalls first. Sorry, I didn't read this correctly. Recalls first. So body control unit recall, basically the body control unit controls the suspension leveling system. And if it randomly goes up or down, yeah, you probably have a body control unit issue. This was recalled in 2008, so it was only affecting the first and second model years of the United States cars, so it probably doesn't have this. Front lower ball joint cracking failure for ABC optioned vehicles, recalled in 2009, so we're talking 07, 08, and 09 vehicles if they're optioned with ABC, so these are going to be the AMGs or the S600s, or if you option the ABC. A lot of people didn't option the ABC simply because it was a very expensive option, and Aromatic is really good. In terms of what it does. I'm not talking about in reliability or anything. They're about the same, I'd say. But yeah, front lower ball joint cracking / failure for that one. That was a recall in 2009. The TPMS reprogramming failure was a recall in 2010. Basically, when you took off your wheels, mainly people who were switching from like summer to winter tires, they would have issues calibrating their TPMS when they put on their new tires. And so this was a recall. Fuel filter housing cracking recall in 2013. So basically, if this was on all models, fuel filter housing, if it cracks, you'll basically be leaking fuel. So you don't want to have that happen. Most of them should have been recalled though. So these are just things you have to clarify with the owner. They probably have been done already. Then you also have faulty blower motors. So the AC, the HVAC system, you'll notice this when you turn on the AC, like in the spring when it starts to get hot again, excuse me. The blower motors will be weak or they won't work at all. So you want to check to make sure the blower motors are good. This is stuff when you test out the car, you want to push every button and go through every option in cars like this because there are a ton and you can easily forget about a lot of different things when you're test driving something like this. Air suspension, the compressors fail, the struts fail, the lines can fail, but usually it's going to be the compressor that fails first. This is going to be for both the Airmatic and the ABC, the compressor or the pump for the ABC because I guess air is technically a fluid, but you know, they call air compressors and fluid pumps. So basically the pump / compressor, you want to make sure that is good. It's really hard to tell if it's good or not. The one thing you can do is ask the owner, see if it's been serviced at all. If it hasn't, then you might run into that problem in your ownership. You have your rear level height sensor failure. So this basically adjusts the rear of the car. So if you have a lot of passengers in the rear, you're not dragging the rear along because it is air suspension. So it just adjusts the rear, keeps it level. That fails. So if your back of the car is sagging, you might have that issue. Pre-facelift gearbox control unit / valve body issues. So the pre-facelifts 07 to 2009, those have gearbox issues. If it's not shifting right or it's not holding gears or something like that, you might have those issues. So you really want to make sure that it has a good kick down and it shifts gears very smoothly. It shouldn't be like rough at all. This is an S-Class. So if it's not buttery smooth, something's wrong with it. And you also have window regulator failures that can happen as well. This could also be due to the door module. So it's like the computer that sits on the door. That could be the failure, or it could be your window regulators themselves. And then finally, I said this already, but Airmatic / ABC failure. The ABC failure is even worse because it's hydro pneumatic. So it's a little bit more complicated and a lot more expensive to fix than Airmatic, but Airmatic is still expensive by itself. Let's see, anything to say here? No, just Jacob. Shout out to you, Jacob. Jacob's carrying the chat as always. So in terms of the diesel, this is the diesel would be the S350. These are diesel specific problems. You have the temperature sensor failure, the main bearing shells, so basically like rod bearings, and then PCV failure. This is a big issue with turbo models. So I'm talking the PCV can affect the diesel because it's turbo. It can also affect the 2012 and 2013 S550s with the V8 biturbo, simply because if the PCV fails, you're literally dumping oil into your intake, and that can get into your turbos. You're dumping oil into the intake, and that can get into your turbos because it goes out your exhaust into your turbos. It depends on the turbos too. The turbos can also fail as well. Hybrid problems, you have the plastic actuator cam failure. This is rare because it only affected the early hybrid models. In the United States, it was from 2010 to 2013 that the hybrids were available. So most of these issues probably should be fixed. But again, you will have issues with the battery. This hybrid, S400 hybrid was the first hybrid to have a lithium ion battery. So you might have battery issues too. They're getting pretty old at this point. I have to just say that with hybrids that are getting old, they're not going to be the most reliable simply for battery issues, and that technology at that time was brand new and not too many people bought them, so you're not going to have a lot of people who are experienced with it, which means that it probably wasn't serviced or maintained as well as it should have been, and then you're just kicking problems down the road, and then now you're ending up with a hybrid, like a 15-year-old hybrid that you potentially could run into a lot of issues with. Just keep that in mind. If you want to get a hybrid, the S5, I keep calling it the S500, S400 hybrid, just make sure that it has a big stack of maintenance. V8 problems. So these are going to be mainly for they could be for both, but I forgot to include the V8 biturbo problems. Those are just going to be turbo issues. But in terms of V8 problems, you have worn timing chain guides, actuator cam failures, same thing with the hybrid. This is going to be basically the V6 and the V8 share the actuator cam parts and they fail. So turbo model, I did put turbo. Can't read. Anyway, defective camshaft adjusters. Same thing, the actuator cams. High oil consumption. These head bolt issues, not really a problem, but more a problem for the AMG models. But if you do have a high mile, naturally aspirated M273s, you can have head bolt issues. Lifter failure and timing chain issues are also a thing on the M273 and 278. And then finally, V12 problems, mainly going to be these ignition coil packs, simply because the coil packs only come in sets of 6. So they're like $1,000 for each side, and you can't just buy one ignition coil. They come in, yeah, as I mentioned, a set of 6. So that is a big issue. People don't like servicing them because they're really expensive. And then you're also going to have 24 spark plugs. This is, I believe it's 24. I believe it's 2 spark plugs per cylinder. Someone can correct me on that. And then turbo failure. This is also going to be with the V8 bi-turbos. You don't want to have turbo failure. This, you know, I'm talking like oil leaks, I'm talking the wastegate issues, just basically all sorts of things can go wrong with the turbo systems. You can also have like leaks with the air systems, the intercoolers, anything. Lots of big problems that can happen with the V12s, but they are the actual engine themselves. The actual engine itself is a very simple engine. It's single overhead cam, very old engine. Like, this is old technology. It's pretty robust. It's just everything around it that fails. And that goes the same thing with the well, no, I wouldn't say that. Let's see what Jacob Black had to say. He said, what I love about every S-Class, if they don't change their mind, is that every S-Class is being built in Sindelfingen, close to Stuttgart, where they also had the Maybachs being built. This quality proof. You know what? I have something to say about that, because I was when I was looking at like Wikipedia, it's saying that some of them, and I don't know, you know, Wikipedia is not always correct, obviously, but it's saying they were built in a bunch of different places. You have this one, you have the Mexico plant, you have the Egypt plant, you have the Malaysia plant, and you have the Indonesia plant. So someone can tell me if they're only produced in Germany, or are they produced in all these other plants as well, because I don't know. And finally, let's get on to the options, the part everyone waits for. This is going to be super complicated. I'm just giving you a forewarning. This is a whole lot of information for the options. See how I'm going to fit this, because I really don't know. Let's do this. Try to fit this over here. I'm definitely gonna have to make this smaller font. We'll get that about halfway. Control A, select all 8. Now we can do 9. 9 looks good. And then I just gotta highlight some stuff. We got S550 optional equipment highlighted. S600 optional equipment. Where's that at? Down here. S400 optional equipment. And then S350 optional equipment. And then we got to get the packages. So put those over here. Bold that. And then we got these down here. Okay. So I'm just looking at this right now, and it's super hard to read, but we'll try to get through it. So basically, the S550 is going to be the car that has all the options. It went from the most, well, it went the longest model range from 2007 to 2013, the entire range. Every other car, well, except for the S600 was also that entire range, but every other car, the S400, the S350, they were available during certain times. So that's why the S550 optional equipment is so long. But we'll just read this out, and then I'll show you some of the brochures. So first of all, you're going to be able to choose whether you have 4MATIC or rear-wheel drive. Doesn't really matter. It's up to you. 4MATIC is definitely going to be more complicated in terms of a system. But if you live in a place with inclement weather a lot of inclement weather, you're going to want to get the 4MATIC system, obviously. You also have Distronic Adaptive Cruise Control. This was an option from 07 to 08, but they became part of packages after 08. So 2009 plus, it was part of a package. You also have ABC suspension. This was an option with Airmatic Standard. And again, ABC was not available with 4MATIC. You can only get ABC suspension with the rear-wheel drive car. You have the option for the heated steering wheel. You also have your wheel options in terms of your actual wheels. We'll go through the pictures of those so I can show you guys exactly what wheels these cars come with. Night view assist was also an individual option from 07 to 08, which became part of a package afterwards. So you'll see a lot of these 07 to 08 cars are kind of like, if I can split up the cars, it would be like 07, 08, then it would be 9 through 11, and then it would be 12, 13. And those, but there's a facelift at 10, so you got to keep that in mind as well. So a bunch of different ways you can split up the model range. You also have a tinted glass panoramic power sunroof. So this was available for all model years. You have an electronic trunk closer for 07 only. I believe after 07, it became standard. It's an automatic trunk closer. So 08 plus became standard. Power rear side window shades as well. This was also an individual option. You can get it part of packages as well, but is always available as an individual option. You have drive dynamic multi-contour seats with 4-level massage. This was from 07 to 08 as an individual option. This came in a package after 08, 09 plus. Premium leather upholstery. This is an interesting option because it's really hard to find a car with the premium leather. Most cars, if not like 99, maybe like 95% of them that have the that are standard cars, not S600, not Dezino package, nothing like that, they're going to have the regular leather upholstery. The premium leather is a lot softer. The regular leather has like a coarse grain to it. It almost looks perforated. So it looks perforated. It's not as smooth, with the premium leather being like very smooth and shiny. So one thing though, the premium leather does wear a lot faster. So that's why a lot of people just option the regular leather, but the premium leather is a lot softer, a lot more comfortable. You also have a wood/leather trim steering wheel. This was an option from 07 to 08. Again, became part of a package 09 plus. You have the 4-zone automatic climate control. Wow, this is a lot. This was from 07 to 08, part of a package after. The AMG body styling from 2008. They called it sport package, AMG body styling sport package. It doesn't matter. For the 07, you could not get it as a standalone option. For the 2008, you could, and then 09, it became a package. So basically in 08, it was a standalone option. iPod integration kit was also available from 08 plus. I believe that should be 08 plus. Night view assistant plus with pedestrian detection. This was 2010 plus. So this is actually that night view where you can get the night vision screen and you can see people walking. Yeah, Bang & Olufsen's, illuminate door sills also were an option in 2010 plus, individual option. Bang & Olufsen sound system 2011 plus. So these are going to be later model year cars. 2011 plus for Bang & Olufsen. Rear seat entertainment system was an option 2011 plus as well. And then finally you have the split view front seat entertainment system 2011 plus. And you have S600 optional equipment. The reason why the S600 has literally no equipment listed is because it comes with pretty much everything standard. These are going to be the only three things that you can get optional. The iPod integration unit for 2008 plus, the burl walnut trim 2010 plus. Usually it comes with a really nice interior, and burl walnut is more of a standard trim, so this is like a downgrade. So it's not really a real option. It's a free option if you want it. Split view front seat entertainment. So this again is going to be a split view where two different angles of perspective can look at the same screen and see different things. And then these are going to be your S400 optional equipment. The S400 and S350 have similar optional equipment. The S350 just has stuff from 2012 plus though. So in terms of the S400, you have the panoramic roof. Same thing as the S550, power rear side window shades, night view assistant plus, heated steering wheel, premium leather upholstery, illuminated door sills, Bang & Olufsen rear seat, split view. And then same thing with the S350. These don't change at all. And then in terms of the packages, there are a few different packages. We're going to go through them in a second. In fact, should I just read these or should I just show you? It's hard to show you because the packages change, and I kind of made it all succinct and right here. So I'm gonna just read this out loud and then we can just look at the packages real quick. So the Premium 1 package, this had heated/ventilated seats, satellite radio, active bi-xenon headlamps with LEDs, DRLs, 2010 plus. So the LED DRLs became standard with the facelift model, obviously. Adaptive high beam assist was also standard with the facelift model. And this package was standard in 2009 plus. So 2007, 2008, this was a package, Premium 1 package. In 2009 plus, it was standard across all models. And even like on the facelifted cars, 2011 plus mainly, they don't even mention it. They just literally list Premium Package 2 as the first package. So that's what we're going to do next. The Premium Package 2 is basically what Premium Package 1 is, plus keyless go, Parktronic. And in 2009, they added a rear view camera. Before, it was just the Parktronic system. It's like an audio visual system. They got the sensors and the beeps and stuff, and you can hear it like that. Drive dynamic multi-contour front seats were available in this package from 2010 plus. As I mentioned before, these were an option before, and then they became standard in 2010 plus. Then you had your comfort type comfort type head restraints with adjustable side wings for 2011 plus if you had the premium package 2. And then the premium package 3 is interesting because it was only available for 2009, which this is really weird. You have the premium 2 package, that's what it includes. So it's basically premium package 3 includes 1 and 2. And then you have the dynamic or drive dynamic multi-contour seats in 2009 and night view assist. So this was an interesting package. Again, in 2010, the drive dynamic multi-contour seats became part of the premium 2 and they dropped the premium 3. But in 2009, you could get that and the night vision in the same package. And then scrolling down, let's see. So then you have the rear seat package. So this was standard on all years. You could get, it comes with the 8-way power adjustable rear seats, heated and ventilated rear seats, and 4-zone climate control. Yeah, you can see that if you have a car that is 2009 or later and it has 4-zone climate control, it's automatically going to have the rear seat package. You couldn't get it as a standalone option, so keep that in mind. Rear seat entertainment package for 2010 plus. This comes with the rear seat entertainment system with 2 TVs, 2 sets of wireless headphones, and 2 different remote controls. And then you have the AMG Sport package / Sport package. I believe for the pre-facelift, it was called the AMG Sport package. However, when the facelift came around, it just was called the Sport package. It just came with the AMG body styling. You can see this one in the picture is actually an AMG body styling car. This is a facelifted version. It comes with also the 19-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels. And then you have another sport package on top of that, the Sport Package Plus 1. It comes with the sport body styling, but instead of the 19 inches, it comes with the 20-inch AMG Sport wheels. We'll look at all that in a second. We're just going to go through this, and then we're going to go through a brochure just right after this. And then finally, you have the Distronic Plus package, which you have the Distronic Plus package, Distronic Plus package, which was available in 2009 only. However, it became the Driver's Assistance Plus package in 2010. In 2009, the Distronic Plus package came with Distronic Plus cruise control, blind spot assist, and parking guidance. And then in 2010, it became the Driver's Assistance Plus package, and it came with the same features as the Distronic Plus package, except they added lane keep assist. So lots of options here. And another thing I have to say about this, when we're shopping for cars online, it's actually kind of difficult to tell what cars have what options. You can tell some of them based on the packages. Like, for example, if it has the multi-contour seats, you know that it's probably going to be a premium 2 car. Or if it has the rear seat package, I mean, that if you see 4-zone climate control, you can see it has rear seat package. And then the AMG Sport package is obviously, you can tell that. But in terms of like judging between the years, some years are harder to tell than others. And then finally, we have the 3 Designo packages, which are going to be the Espresso Edition, the Mystic White Edition, and the Graphite Edition. So now that we've gone through all that, let's go through the actual brochures so I can show you guys. Of course, these are not loaded up, but here we have the 2008. So this is going to be the first model year brochure, and we can see they were talking about a lot of details here. I'll show you the actual, see how with the S600, literally everything that can be available is optioned. Has more options than the S65. So S600 is going to be completely loaded. As you can see, the only things are the wheel options. So for 2007, no, I agree with you. If the S-classes are being produced in all those different countries, I only want the one that's in Germany. Like, I don't want a Mexican S-class. I don't want, shout out to my people in Malaysia and Indonesia, because that's where half my family's from. I don't want that one. I don't want the Egyptian S-class. I don't want the Mexican S-class. I want the real S-class, the German one. I don't want the Japanese S-class. Or there's no Japanese. So it's Mexico, Egypt, Malaysia, Indonesia. Yep. Sorry, Malaysia. Sorry, Indonesia. No shade. I'd rather have the German S-class. So these are going to be your wheels for the 2007 model. We can see these ones are probably going to be my favorite, but these ones are going to look the best. It'll be really hard to find the multi-spoke ones, especially for 2007. These ones are usually going to be on the S600s only, and these ones are going to be on this AMG Sport package. But yeah, these ones just look cheap in my opinion. Try to avoid these wheels. Let's see, moving on to, actually, we'll read out the Designo packages because I didn't write them down. So Designo editions, you're going to have the Espresso Edition. So Designo Mocha Black metallic paint, exclusive interior treatment, and single tone Designo Armagnac Cognac, Armagnac, brown leather upholstery, and Designo maple wood trim, black leather and wood trim on steering wheel and overhead assist handles. You also have the cashmere beige Alcantara headliner and the Designo Mystic White metallic paint, exclusive interior treatment with single tone Designo porcelain leather upholstery, and Designo black piano lacquer wood trim, black leather and wood trim on steering wheel and overhead assist handles, charcoal Alcantara roof liner. And then you have the Graphite Edition, graphite metallic paint, exclusive interior treatment in single tone Dezino Corteccia. I don't know how to pronounce that. Leather upholstery with matte oak wood trim on steering wheel and overhead assist handles, charcoal Alcantara roof liner. So those are going to be your Dezino packages. They kind of remain the same out of all of them. Yeah, I agree with you. I only want the German one. And then here I got to refresh this, of course. So this is going to be the 2008 model year. We can see not really that many changes. They show the Dezino packages though. You can see this one's going to be the graphite edition. It's going to be the black one with the black interior. Then you have the Mystic white. So it's white on white. And then you have the Espresso, which is going to be a black on a brown. The Espresso is probably my favorite. Mystic white being the second. This one just looks too regular in my opinion. I mean, it's Dezino, I get it, but these two look actually nice. I think it's the wood choices and the two-toneness. This one, obviously you can see it's a single tone. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of stuff to go over with these. I don't really want to get into all that. You can see these are going to be your wheel options. And of course, S600 still on the 5 spokes. But yeah, a lot of stuff here. Let's move on to the next one. Of course, I got to refresh this again because Chrome hates RAM. Or Chrome eats RAM. And of course, we'll just scroll through it, man. I don't want to be difficult. There we go. Okay. Trying to find the wheel options. So we can see here, these are my favorite wheels by far. These monoblock style wheels, the 5-spoke ones. I've never seen a Mercedes with these wheels, honestly, so I'm not sure what those are. And this page looks like it's missing like a lot of information. I don't know what's going on here. But as you can see, lots of packages, lots of options. S600 is always going to be fully optioned. S550, as I mentioned, the options change. As you can see with the facelifted car, 2010 plus, we can see they simplified the brochure a lot and they actually included the colors, made it a lot easier to read. So I'll just go over the colors. The colors and interior upholstery and trim stuff pretty much stay the same. So we have the black leather, you have cashmere / Savannah, and then you have dark gray. And then for the interior, you have burl walnut or brown poplar. And then exterior paintwork, we got black. These are going to be non-metallic and metallic colors here. You have red, blue, diamond white, flint gray, iridium silver, jade green. Jade green is one of my favorite colors for the S-Class. You rarely ever see them though. Majestic black and then palladium silver. Then we're just going to keep scrolling through. I'm not even going to refresh this. So we have the leather upholstery. So you'll see on a lot of 2011 pluses, you'll see the Sahara beige / black two-tone interiors. I really like those. Those look really nice. The ash gray ones, ash / gray, also look nice. Black is also good. Cashmere, I mean, they're all good, but the two tones I do like a lot. Then you also have the eucalyptus wood, which was added for the S400 hybrid, as you can see. And then these are going to be your premium leather upholstery colors. They're kind of the same, except they have a color contrast stitch in them. But again, you really won't see any premium leather upholstery cars. They are very rare, and yeah, you'll be able to tell because they just look a lot softer. And then scrolling through here, these are going to be the wheels. You'll see a lot more wheels on these later models, but these are probably just going to be what you're going to be looking for. These are going to be the standard AMG 5-spoke wheels. That's what they look like. Even though some of them on the pre-facelift specifically are going to be 19s, they're going to be the same style. They look pretty much the same, except on the facelift they become 20s. You also have these wheels. These ones are cool too. The multi-spokes, they became a little bit more shiny. That's all I have to say for the facelifted models. And then you also have this AMG triple 5-spoke wheel, which looks kind of like an Audi peeler wheel. Those are also good wheels as well. But again, all these wheels look fine. I just really like the 19s, and the 20s look good too, but I'm not really a big fan of this style wheel for some reason. It doesn't look good to me, but that's subjective, obviously. Hey, what's going on, Verde? I've not seen you before. What's going on? You said, is the 2018 to 2020 W222 reliable? I wouldn't say it's unreliable. You're just gonna have a lot of electronic stuff, and it's pretty reliable. I'd say it's reliable now. I don't know if it'll be reliable in 5 or 10 years. But right now, the W222 is a really, really good car. And then finally, this is 2013. We can see the wheels options stayed the same, but this is what the interiors look like. This is going to be that Sahara beige / black. I really like this two-tone interior. This is one of my favorites. Black is going to be good. Of course, I'm not really a fan of the gray ones or the cashmere ones. The cashmere actually, I'll give the cashmere some credit. The cashmere one does look really nice. Sometimes, you know, it's like, I like the fact that the dash is beige as well. So it's like very cohesive inside and looks nice, but you really only see that on the older models, really. Well, I don't want to say that. You'll see the all beige interiors on a lot of different S-Class models. And then, yep, same thing with the trim, remains the same. and then the colors pretty much are the same as well. So with all that information that we know now, let's get on to the ads and try to find some good deals in terms of S-classes. What you'll see first up here, first and foremost, I don't know what was going on with Auto Trader this morning when I was looking for ads. Could not get Auto Trader to load. Right before the show, I looked at Auto Trader and it was working again, but I just didn't have a chance to put any Auto Trader ads. So I put more Facebook and more Cargurus ads. So we're just going to go over Facebook and Cargurus today. So looking at our first ad on Facebook, our first one off the bat, going to be a S600, first model year, 2007 S600. You can see V12 on the side. It's going to have these wheels on it. This one is pretty rough. See what he has to say about it. Very beautiful car. He has another one that he's selling too. So he has two S600s that he's selling. He's saying the rear seat massage feature doesn't work, but that's weird that he only mentions one feature. These cars have hundreds of features. So, well, you know, not too many pictures on this one. Also, what I've noticed on the very early S600s, they're supposed to come with the exclusive interior. I'm talking, it's like design. The Dezino interior is standard on the S600s. However, on the very early ones, on 2007 specifically, you never see them. They just have the regular interiors. In fact, this isn't even the premium leather. This is the standard leather interior. So something to keep in mind. One thing about the S600 though is that you're gonna have the rear comfort package, whatever you want to call it. The rear seats recline, and there's 4-zone climate control. Just another wheel. Not too much information here. You can see on this picture that is his other S-Class. He has two of them. I do like these wheels a lot better. These are going to be those multi-spoke wheels, but he has two S-Classes, as you can see. But this being a first model year S600 with 92,000 miles, and it's in this condition, sitting on a driveway that's like this. Yeah, I wouldn't really trust this car to be in great mechanical shape at all. He doesn't really say anything about it, so that's not good either. The interior is not bad in terms of condition. The exterior has some paint wear. Yeah, the paint's not very good on this car at all, but the interior doesn't look that bad for, you know, what the exterior is. I'd say the exterior is probably like a 6 out of 10. The interior is probably a 7.5. For me though, being that this is 92,000 miles with literally no maintenance history, and I'm not too confident on the condition of the car anyway, I'll be willing to go up to $9,000. Jacob said, a colleague of mine cried about oil leaks and never found out where it came from, so he washed the engine. Yeah, I mean, for these cars, I mean, instead of crying, you're gonna have to want to take it to a dealership, I mean, not a dealership, a mechanic, and get that all sorted out. Better than crying over it. You can see this one's missing trim pieces. Not very good condition at all. We can see the exhaust doesn't look great at all either. Yeah, not a good car. $9,000 for this, I think, would be a good deal. If you really just want the V12 experience. Other than that, I wouldn't recommend getting a V12 S-Class, especially one from the first model year and one that's under $10,000, right? So moving on to our next one, we have another 2000 example. This one is going to be an S550. So it has the M273 engine, the naturally aspirated 5.5 liter V8, one of the most reliable engines that came on this platform. 12.5 they're asking. It has 115,000 miles. Let's take a look at the interior. We can see this one does have a Dezino interior. This one is a Dezino car. This one is going to be that Mystic Dezino package. Mystic White, I believe, Dezino package. Does he say what it is? Nope. He doesn't even know what he has, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, this is not just any white S-Class. This is a Dezino package S-Class. So you have the interior, the two-tone with the black piano, black trim. Same thing on the steering wheel. I love the black piano trim on the steering wheel. You can't find that on any S-Class, standard S-Class besides the AMGs. So yeah, this is the Dezino Mystic White is one of my favorite interiors. And yeah, this one looks really good. It's still 2007 though, so keep that in mind. It's just gonna have more wear than, you know, most other models. This one also has 115,000 miles, so a ton of miles for this one. But yeah, this one looks really nice. I really like the two-tone Dezino. It also has the sport package as well. As you can see, this is gonna be what the sport package looks like. Does this show the front bumper? Yeah, as you can see on the non-sport package for the pre-facelift, the fog light kind of goes back in an angle like this, follows the headlight line. But for the sport package, the front fog light does not follow the headlight line at all. It follows more of the lower grille line, plus the lower grille is bigger. So this is going to be a sport package Dezino car. Very, very high spec car right here, in my opinion. I don't know too much about the packages, other like the comfort packages and whatnot. It's hard to tell. I don't believe it has the premium too, because these headrests don't look like those comfort headrests. But again, what year did those comfort headrests come out? Because that's also a thing. It's hard to describe these, or hard to distinguish a lot of these packages on the S-Class. Hold on, sorry, I'm trying to bring up my notes here. So let's see. The comfort type head restraints only came in 2011 plus, so that's not a good way to tell. Let's see. For premium package 1, heated and ventilated seats, so it definitely had that. The bi-xenon lights. Let's look at the bi-xenon lights. Yep, it had those. Definitely have premium package 1, premium package 2. Keyless Go, Parktronic. Does it have Parktronic? See, the thing about the S-Class is that you can't, like, usually I'm able to tell based on the buttons, right? But most of this stuff is integrated into the infotainment system, so it's hard to tell unless they show pictures of specific things. And this one doesn't have the best pictures. Anyway, going back to this though, we'll price it as what it is. It's a Dezino car, very rare. It's in white. Of course, it's a Dezino Mystic white car, but 115,000 miles. And it's a sport package, 12,500 they're asking. Not a bad deal in my opinion. However, I wouldn't want to pay that much for a car with 115,000 miles. I'd be more around the $11,000 mark. Cool. Yeah, so this one, really nice example. Dezino ones are always going to be nice. They're far and few between. Yep, only 12 grand for this one. I'd pay 11 for it just because it has high miles. But again, this has the M273, so that is a very reliable motor. You won't have to really worry about too much when compared to, like, you know, other things. One thing you have to understand about this car, not understand, but figure out, is whether or not it has ABC or not, simply because it is not a 4MATIC car. So you don't know whether or not it has Airmatic or ABC because, you know, 4MATIC only allowed for ABC, or 4MATIC only allowed for Airmatic. Rear-wheel drive cars could either have Airmatic or ABC. Right, exactly. No, Jacob, I'm completely with you on that. This is like a clean car. If you can get over the fact that it's a pre-facelift, this is like a really nice car. Cool. Moving on to our next example. We have another white one. This is going to be a 2010. This one's a hybrid though, so a facelifted hybrid. One quick way to tell the facelifts off the bat is going to be these reflectors right here. On the pre-facelift, these reflectors are going to be long and skinny. On the facelift, they're short and chunky like this. So easy way to tell. Not too many changes with the pre-facelift to facelift in terms of the actual front and rear fascias. They're pretty similar. So this is the quickest way to tell. The headlights are a little bit different, as you can see. You have the DRLs running along the bottom, but other than that, yeah, nice car. Another thing about the S-Class I didn't even mention, but it's not really that important. Just know that no S-Class comes with a Mercedes-Benz badge on the grille. If it has one, that means it's an aftermarket grille. Anyway, moving on, this is going to be your S400 with the V6, the M273 V6 paired with the hybrid engine, or the hybrid motor. As you can see, it has, you know, standard equipment. Nothing too fancy going on here. Very typical of the S-Class. The W221 is going to be the armrest leather becomes really floppy and loose. So that's pretty much on all of them. We can see this one, no panoramic roof on this example, but it does have, it does look like it has those comfort headrests because it has the wings. Yeah, this does have nice rims. This does have nice rims as well. These are going to be those multi-spoke wheels, I believe. They don't look like the multi-spoke wheels, and they look kind of different in my opinion, but they do look nice. I do like the way these look. Anything to say about it? Nothing at all. I hate it when people just write very clean title. But yeah, this one has the the gray interior. It's not really a beige, but it's the gray. I'm not really a fan of the gray interior. It's probably my least favorite interior. We can see it has the vanity mirrors up there as well. Yep, but these ones have the comfort headrest, so that is pretty cool. It means that it at least has the premium package 2. So yeah, premium package 2 car. This is also going to be a S400. So these ones, I mean, they go for a little bit higher, but they aren't really valued that much in my opinion. They shouldn't be that much higher. They're rare, so people are going to price them a little bit higher, and people usually took a little bit more care of them because they're rarer. And this one only has 81,000 miles. So obviously it's going to be a little bit higher than the last examples we looked at. But for me, being that it's still a V6 hybrid, it's not going to be like very inspiring in terms of its drivetrain. You're only going to be getting better fuel economy. I'd be willing to go up to 13.5 for this example. Also because the interior spec isn't all that either. Cool. Moving on to our next one, we have a 2010. This is going to be a facelifted S550, still with the M270. Wait, M273. Wait, hold on. I can't believe it. I might have said all that wrong. The M273, the M272 is what's in the hybrid. Excuse me. The M272 is what's in the hybrid. The M273 is what's in this car right here. So yeah, this is M273. Naturally aspirated 5.5 liter V8. You can see it right here. You can see the interior is going to be that tan interior. You can see the tan dash and everything with the burl walnut wood. Does 4MATIC make sense for this car? For me, I would not get a 4MATIC car. That's just going to be more complicated, and it's also going to take power away from your system. But if you live somewhere with like inclement weather, say you live somewhere where it snows 3 months out of the year or something, you probably should get a 4MATIC car. It's just going to be a lot more convenient for you. But I wouldn't get a 4MATIC car personally. I don't need it. If I want to drive in the snow, I'm going to drive a truck. Yeah, plus the 4MATIC, you're going to have less gas mileage, obviously, because you have more drivetrain loss. You're also going to have less power. But yeah, it's all little minuscule things. Not really going to make a huge difference. The 4MATIC is just more convenient in inclement weather. So if you're, you know, buying this for your wife or something, maybe 4MATIC might be appropriate because, you know, you don't want her to crash or anything. But if you're getting it for yourself, I don't know if you need it. This one is very clean. Look, even looking at this armrest is not stretched at all, which is very surprising. This is a 2010, only 80,000 miles, so maybe that has something to do with it. Very clean car. This person looked like they took care of it. Let's see, it has the power rear sunshades, it looks like. Yep, you can see the track, I believe. And then, yep, power rear sunshades, like it's right there. Looking at the headrests, these don't look like those premium headrests. So this is a 2010, so I don't believe it has premium 2. One big thing about these cars, especially all Mercedes, is Distronic. That is a huge option to get on these. So I highly suggest that. It's hard to find cars where they literally listed Distronic. So if you can find a car with Distronic, I highly suggest getting that one, because it's just going to come with a whole bunch of extra features. This one, I mean, it looks okay. It's gray on the beige with these 5-spoke wheels. Not really the best spec. It's okay. It's very clean though. Not the best spec, but very clean nonetheless. Clean title in Carfax. Great condition. He's not lying. We'll give him a ding for that, for being in really good condition. 16.5 was he asking. 2010, I mean, so you're getting a facelifted one with the old school engine in very good condition. The spec isn't the best, but it's very clean. 79,000 miles. I'd be willing to go up to 15 grand for this one. This one is a very clean example. You know, switch out the wheels, put on those AMG wheels, and maybe get some tints so people won't see the beige interior as much, and you're all set. It will look pretty good in my opinion. This one's not a sport package though. So, actually, hold on. Is it? Oh, I mean, I guess it is a sport package, because looking at the rear, this, hold on. No, not a sport package. This one is a sport package. Okay, cool. Moving on to our next one, we have a sport package, 2011. This one is going to be a 2011. Let's see what he has to say about it real quick. Diamond white with cashmere Savannah leather and burl walnut trim, optional equipment. He has the, looks like it's premium package 1. Drive dynamic multi-contour, no, premium package 2, excuse me, because it's a 2011, so premium package 2. And then you have parking guidance, rear camera, sport package as well. So premium package 2 plus sport package car. It's in white with the cashmere and Sahara interior, or Savannah, excuse me, cashmere and Savannah interior. We also see this one does have the panoramic roof. Wait, does it? Does it have the illuminated sills? These do look like the illuminated sills as well. Panoramic roof, yep, it has a panoramic roof. You can see not the premium leather. No, none of these cars have the premium leather. That's the problem about these. We'll look at one example with the premium leather, but that's coming up in a few. Beige interior. This one looks really clean though. This one also includes the option list, which is very nice. This guy definitely knew what to do in terms of how to sell his car. I'm trying to see if it has Distronic though. Comfort, convenience, safety. It's hard to read this, so I can't really tell. But that is a huge option. Distronic is a huge option on these because it adds so much, as I mentioned before. Very clean sport package car. You can also tell sport package because of these twisted side skirts. And then I believe the exhaust has a black surround. Yep, black surround the exhaust as well. Jacob said, how long do you need to check if all the extras work? How long do you need? Basically, what you got to do is you got to get the VIN of the car, right? In fact, I'll show you right here. So this is an example. Go to lastvin.com. It's a Mercedes-Benz VIN decoder. You put in the VIN. They don't give you the VINs for these on Facebook, unfortunately. Maybe this guy has the VIN. No. Basically, we'll go through that in a second when we go through the Cargurus ones, because they actually give the VINs. But what you want to do is go through the VIN decoder, find out all the options, and then know which options you're looking for before you go look at the car. Because when you sit in the car, you know, you're going to be thinking about a lot of things. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you're probably going to forget a lot of things. You're going to be excited to be there. The person selling the car is probably not going to mention everything because they probably don't know. A lot of people aren't going to know what packages are on the car unless they optioned it themselves. But as I mentioned, a lot of people don't read these brochures. They don't know. They just think it's whatever. Like this one, the guy probably thought it was a really, really loaded car, but it doesn't have night vision. It doesn't have the, it looks like it doesn't have Distronic. So like a lot of different things that you want to make sure the car has. So this one, they're asking crazy amount for. 28.7 for one of these. 28.7, almost 30 grand. So as you can see, these are, you know, based on the condition. The condition is key here, and the mileage too, but condition and mileage are huge for these cars. As I mentioned, a lot of people really, really like this body style, and when you see one in person, like, of course you've seen one in person, they're everywhere, but they look so good. They don't look 15 years old. So I think, in my opinion, they're going to go up in price, and you can already see that somewhat with these low mile examples. 28.7 for a 40 mile, 28.7 for a 40,000 mile example. I say for me, I mean, I don't think it's worth 28. Maybe 20,000. I'd say $20,000 for me would be an appropriate price for this car. Maybe 21 or 22 actually. Let me restart that. $22,000 would be an appropriate price for $22,000 would be an appropriate price for this car, simply because of the mileage and the condition, and it being a facelift model. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Distronic or anything like that, but you know, it's still pretty good. The condition is where it's at. Here we have our next example. This one's going to be a 2013. This one's going to be a last model year. You can see it is the sport package. You can tell because it has these 20-inch AMG sport wheels along with the sport body kit. We can see here the radar cruise control. I do believe this is Distronic because it has that right there. Let me look at this one. Yeah, this one does not have it. This one does have it. So I believe it has the Distronic system. Yeah, just based on that. This also, I mentioned, sport package. Scrolling through the interior, we can see, yep, we can see these seats. I do believe these are the multi-contour dynamic massage seats. You also have the two-tone, wow, I forget what it's called, Sahara and black interior, I believe what it's called. Let's actually, I want to make sure I get that right. So 23rd, yep, this is going to be the Sahara beige and black interior. One of my favorite interiors on a non-Dezino car. You can see it looks really nice, really upscale and premium. He said, man, 20-inch wheels for these cars are not appropriate. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to ride a little bit rough, but at least you'll look cool, right? I mean, we were looking at the interior, but looking at the exterior, we can see some scuffs and scratches on the rear bumper. So, you know, the pictures aren't the best. We can also see some scuffs right here. So the condition of this car, probably like a 7 out of 10. Not the best. You have some scratches everywhere, but the interior is where it's at. Yeah, exactly. The Albanian special, the Eastern European special. Yeah. The, what's it called? The Adidas tracksuit special. What else can I say about this? No panoramic roof, it looks like. This one has the keyless entry, so it has keyless go. I mean, that's standard at this point. This is 2013. No premium leather here, unfortunately. I'm trying to look at these headrests. You know, this is a premium 2 car at least, but the headrests don't look like they are though, so it might actually not have premium 2. This, again, you're gonna have to get the VIN on these cars. For Facebook, they don't give the VIN, and if you get the VIN, it'll tell you all the information. You don't have to worry about it. So yeah, this one looks nice. I like the interior trim package. The Sahara in black on a white exterior with the AMG Sport package as well. The problem is this one is in really rough condition. Looking closely, you can even see more cracks and bumps and scrapes on the front bumper as well. So yeah, you can see this price is pretty appropriate. I'd say for a 2013, 100,000 miles. In fact, they don't even, it says clean title, but cash deals, no trades, blah, blah, blah. I'd be willing to go up to $8,000 for this one, simply because the exterior condition is really bad. You need a lot of body work for this car. But keep this in mind, it is a twin turbo V8 M278 car, last model year, with a really cool interior trim, trim package. So you really can't go wrong with this. If you get it for $8 grand, that's not bad at all. You just have to do a lot of body work. You probably spend, you know, $2 or $3 grand in body work, and then you'll be all set. And then moving on to our final example, we have a 2013. This one's only going to have 80,000 miles. This one is a sport package with the 4.6 liter bi-turbo, obviously the M278 engine. You can also see the sport package on the front as well. Cracker said, I swear one of these pulled up for me on the highway and wanted to race. The dudes inside all did have tracksuits on. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's like the Eastern European garb of choice is a tracksuit. This one is nice. It has the black interior, but is a white car. White cars with the black interior are always going to be pretty rare. You really don't see that configuration across all brands and models. They're pretty rare to find. Let's see. This one, you can see, has the regular leather. It's still perforated. It's not going to be that soft leather, the premium, but this one also has the panoramic roof as well, so good option there. One thing about the panoramic roofs, you want to make sure that the seals are all good and that they function well, because you don't want roof problems. The more roof panels you have, the more places it can leak, and then you're just going to run into more issues. So keep that in mind. This car, it looks like it is a 2013, but it does not have the fancy headrest. I don't believe these don't look like the fancy ones, because the fancy ones don't go up and down. They just they contour. So you can see this one does not have the comfort pack or the premium package 2. It doesn't look like. And looking at the front, we can see it has Distronic. I believe that's a Distronic thing right here. But yeah, someone will have to clarify that for me, because I'm not sure. I'll admit that. I'm not sure about the Distronic on the later models. But yeah, as you can see, he put the V8 by Turbo sign on it, so pretty cheesy. But he has the 3-spoke, or the 5-spoke peeler AMG wheels, let's call them that. So Jacob, what are you asking? Which engine? Are you asking the 4.6 liter M278 bi-turbo, or are you asking the 5.5 liter M273 naturally aspirated? Because the high mileage bi-turbo ones are definitely gonna have problems. They're turbos. The turbos are definitely wear items at that point, high miles. So you want to make sure that the turbos are good. And but the M273, the naturally aspirated one, that's been around for a while now, and that engine is pretty stout, even up to like 200,000 miles. So I'd say, I mean, I wouldn't say. It's not me saying this, is facts. The M273 is going to be way more reliable than the M278, but the M278 is going to have way more power than the M273. The M278 makes 516 pound-feet of torque, and the M273 makes like 390 pound-feet of torque. So you have so much more potential. Plus with turbos, you can tune it. You can do a whole lot of different things with the turbo engine that you can't do with naturally aspirated. So if you're into that kind of stuff and you also want an S-Class, go that route. But if you're into reliability and you want smoothness and not a big headache, and cheaper prices as well, you can go for the naturally aspirated one. This one they're asking 17.84 and it has 80,000 miles, so low miles. The spec isn't that bad. It has small wheels. I'm not a big fan of these wheels. I don't know why. They just look really tiny on this car. But again, it is a facelifted last model year vehicle, so 78,000 miles is pretty low. And 17.8 is pretty close. I'd be willing to go, since the spec is pretty good. It's not the best spec. I can't really tell if it has the premium package 3 or not, or premium package 2 or not. I'd be willing to go up to 15.5 for this example. Yeah, 15.5, and you're getting a twin turbo V8 S-Class last model year, low miles. Like, that's really good. Like, what else can you get for 15.5 in terms of a luxury experience? Cool. Anyway, moving on to our next place. Cargurus are, the place we look at ads, not Auto Trader. I was about to say that, but we're skipping Auto Trader today. As you can see, our first example is going to be a 2007 S-Class and S550. So it's going to have the naturally aspirated M273 with 48,000 miles in gray. I really like these wheels. These wheels look pretty nice. But as you can see, this one is, off the bat, looks pretty nice. No sport package here, as you can tell. It actually has the downturn pipes. You can't even see the exhaust tips on the pre-facelifts. You can see they just point down. But again, looks very clean off the bat. Interior, we're going to have that two-tone Sahara and black interior. One of my favorite color combo. Actually, hold on. Yeah, the Sahara and black interior. And then what's special about this car is that it actually has the premium leather. I don't know if you can tell based on these pictures alone, but it's not like that perforated leather that you saw on every other example. And in fact, we are going to look up the, it says it's a Dizino color, but it's not. They actually got this wrong. We're going to look up this VIN real quick, and I'm going to show you guys how to use this. It's really easy. Just, copy, paste the VIN in lastVin.com. You're not a robot, get the data card. We can see here all the different options, all the different option codes that the car comes with. What you want to pay attention to, I mean, if you're looking at the leather, is these option codes. It's going to be 855A. Any car with premium leather is going to have an option code for the leather starting with 8. Anyone that's going to have a standard leather is going to have an option code starting with 2. And I believe the Dizino ones are going to have an option code starting with 5. So keep that in mind. 855 means that it is a premium leather car. Super rare. If you're into that, I think this would be a good option for you. But this is a pre-facelift car, so you're going to have to, juggle that. You want pre-facelift, or do you want, nice leather? I mean, do you want facelift, or do you want nice leather? Pick one. But yeah, this one is just really nice, really good condition. 50,000 miles. They're asking 22.9 for it. I mean, they know what he knows what he has. This is like one of those things where he knows what he has. It's really good condition. Look at this wood. It looks so good. And with this two-tone Sahara and black. premium leather. Yeah, you really can't go wrong with this, but the price is way too high for me. I'd say for having 50,000 miles, I'd be willing to go up to $17,800 for this one. This one's just really clean, honestly. This is like really good looking example. I think it's these wheels too. Moving on to our next example, we have the cheapest one online right now. This is a 2007 S550, the cheapest one we can find. No sport pack here. Gray car. Let's see what the interior looks like. Black interior. Looking at this, I mean, it doesn't look that bad, honestly, for being the cheapest one. You can see the armrest has some wear where the guy's elbow was, but the center console doesn't look too bad. This one also has a Harman Kardon system. Again, for the 2011 pluses, you want to make sure that it has a Bang & Olufsen. I forgot to mention that. I don't know if we can even tell. Like, could you even tell it has Bang & Olufsen? Like, do they say it anywhere? Are there rising tweeters? Like, I have no idea, to be honest. Like, the Bang & Olufsen system is good, but I can't tell how to tell based on pictures alone. This one, does it have the no panoramic roof on this one? Let's see right here. What else? Yep, just very standard high mile example. 151,668 miles, and no accidents. Pretty good in terms of its history. You just want to make sure with something like this, you had a lot of regular scheduled maintenance. You really don't want to get a car that has been neglected on maintenance, especially one with this many miles, because you're going to just run into a whole lot of problems. It does look very clean though, so I'll give him that. In terms of the condition of the car, 150,000 miles. I mean, you have some wear, not wear, but you can see the sunroof visor material is peeling. You also have some wear in the armrest, but overall, like, the seat quality and everything like that is actually not bad for this many miles. As you can see, these cars are built very well and they handle mileage very well. No premium leather here. You can see the leather though on the armrest is kind of wearing right here, but the actual armrest itself doesn't look, it looks worn, but it's not wrinkled. Anyway, this is a really high mile example, cheapest example we can find today, so really can't go wrong with getting something at this price. Granted, you have to make sure, of course, that the maintenance is on point and it's not really leaking. You don't want to get a car that has stuff you need to do. This seems like it would be one of those. For $7,000 though, it's a little bit too much for 151,000, especially given the condition of the interior. It's not the best, and the exterior is also not the best. You have some yellow fog lights too. I'd be willing to go up to $5,000 for this. You know, $5,000. We'll see what he does. At $5,000, there's a whole bunch of other cars you could get to that are going to be way less of a headache. So $5,000 is where I'd be at. Moving on to our next one, we have another 2000 example. This one is going to be another S600, but way nicer than the one we looked at before. Hey, shout out to the people in the chat right now. I know I've been going on for an hour and 17 minutes, and I'm like halfway through the ad, so it's going to be a little bit longer of a show today. Don't forget to hit that like button. What are we at right now in terms of likes? We are at 3 likes. Man, go hit that like button. You're here watching it, man. Just hit that like button. It takes half a second, helps me out, and it's cost nothing to you. So do that real quick. Jacob says, if you have an upholsterer, no problem. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's some things you got to think about with these cars. Like, you got to price out the repairs. Some things, you know, they're going to be inconvenient to do, but they're not that expensive. This one is going to be an S600. You can tell because obviously it says S600, but it also has these 5-spoke AMG monoblock-ish wheels. I really like these wheels. Looking at the interior, we can see this is an S600, but it doesn't have an exclusive interior. Actually, let's look up the VIN. I want to see what it has to say about the interior, because it's not exclusive. We're looking at it right now. This is the standard interior for a pre-facelift S-Class, but we're going to look at the VIN and see what they have to say. I'm not a robot. So it says exclusive leather, black and anthracite. I don't know about, like, someone would have to clarify that for me. This doesn't look exclusive to me, because exclusive is this. Oh, no, exclusive is this. Sorry. Wait, nope. The next one. Exclusive is this, the Dezino. Let's look up this one right here real quick just to see what it says. Duplicate this tab so we can keep them both open. Last VIN, paste. I'm not a robot. Get data card. Yeah, see, this one says exclusive leather, black and anthracite. But it's not black and anthracite. It's white. And this one's a Dezino interior. So maybe, sometimes, maybe they might not be so accurate. Oh, it is a Dezino interior. Yeah, code 53. Yeah, Dezino is... Sorry. Dezino is exclusive. Dezino exclusive, same thing. Code 5, or start with a 5, as I mentioned before, means exclusive or Dezino. Premium starts with an 8. Standard starts with a 2. So this one is going to be... It says it's Dezino, but it's not even Dezino. It's not, well, the S600 comes standard with exclusive. Premium is an option for standard cars, so that's going to be the S550, S400, S350. That is an option for premium leather, but the Dezino comes on Dezino cars as well as the S600, and those start with 5s. But when you're looking at the S600 up close, this one is not a Dezino car, so I don't know what to say about it. This seems to be only a problem with the early model years for the S600, so the 2007s. So you're gonna have to deal with that. They don't have the nicer interiors, but 2008 pluses do have the nicer Dezino interiors, are exclusive because they are not. It is a 600, not a Dezino car, or not a 550. So it comes standard with exclusive, but exclusive is synonymous with Dezino on non-S600 cars. Holy crap. Anyway, black interior, black exterior, or silver exterior with the AMG monoblock-ish wheels. They're not monoblocks because they are on an S600, but they do look pretty much the same. In terms of the features, I can't really tell, but it is an S600, so it's like 99.9% fully equipped. It also has the panoramic sunroof, Alcantara headliner as well. So maybe the exclusive leather, it's like the material is still exclusive leather. It's different than premium. It's different than the standard leather in terms of material, but the stitching pattern is the same. So I can't really speak on that. S600, yep, it is a V12 twin turbo, 5.5 liter V12, 510 horsepower, 612 pound-feet of torque for this one. So this thing moves. You'll be able to surprise a lot of people at the light with one of these, but they are very expensive to maintain. Not only in gas, but in terms of parts, I mentioned before, specifically the coil packs, because that's a big problem with these. If one coil pack goes wrong, you have to replace all 6 on that bank, and it is $1,000+, maybe even $1,200+ for that set of 6 coil packs. And then, of course, these engines also have dual spark plugs, so 24 spark plugs. So a lot of maintenance items for this. 12.9 they're asking. It has 123,000 miles, so high mile example, though it is pretty clean for what it is. I wouldn't be willing to go above 10 grand for this car. Cool, moving on to our next example. 2008 S-Class 4. This is a 2008 S550 4MATIC, so 4-wheel drive car, so it has air-matic suspension. Jacob says, why is the V12 less expensive? Why is that the V12 is less expensive than the V8? It's just rare. Parts are hard to find. It's hard to maintain. People don't want to deal with it. Yeah, people don't want to deal with it. That's the biggest thing. If you want to deal with it, you're in luck because you can get it for a good price. Yeah, moving on to this one though. This is a gray on gray car. It looks like, yep, gray exterior, gray interior. Does it have the sport package? It does have the sport package. So we have a sport package pre-facelift gray on gray car. Standard leather. We can see standard headrest, so no premium 2 package here. Actually, these are the standard headrests, but it is a 2008, so we got to go back to the sheet real quick. Go back to the sheet. 2008. What are the packages looking like? 2008. Premium package 2. Drive dynamic multi. Actually, it could be drive. It could be premium package 2 car. It could be. Again, you're gonna want to make sure to look up that VIN and you get all that information. I do believe these are premium package 2 cars because the seats do look like they are the front massaging seats. It has the burl walnut wood trim. 4MATIC car, so no ABC here available. 15.9 they're asking, only has 41,000 miles, so this is actually not that bad of a deal. It's a very low mile car. Granted, it is a 2008, so it's going to be one of the first, basically it's in that first section of W221 S classes, probably not the least desirable ones because they were the first couple model years. And in 2009 plus, they did a change with the trim levels and all that. So yeah, this one's going to be a little bit cheaper than the rest, but 41,000 miles. With a car like this, you want to make sure that it has regular maintenance like listed on its history. You don't want to buy a car that has been sitting for a while, especially a car like this with all these types of problems. The thing about cars is that in order to keep them reliable, you have to drive them. You have to use all the features. That's how you keep them reliable. You're not going to save it, or not going to like extend the life of the car by not using it. You do the opposite. So 41,000 miles, you want to make sure that it has all the maintenance, but if it does, everything checks out. I'd be willing to go up to 13 grand for this car, simply because the miles are really low and you'll get a lot of use out of these. It is an S-Class after all. A lot of people think that, you know, an S-Class is super complicated and super unreliable, but they were built at the highest standard of car. Like, they are setting the precedent for every other car that comes after, so they have to be reliable. It's just repair costs and maintenance are what are most expensive with these things, but they are actually reliable if you get the parts and put them on there in reasonable time and like you know, just keep up with the maintenance, it will last a very long time. So that's not what my father said. Save it by not using it. Yep, that is, I couldn't, sorry, but your dad is wrong on that. You have to use all these features. You have to. Like, you have to, or else they're not going to work. You're going to try to use them one day after not using it for a while, and it's just not going to work. This one's a 2010, so we have a facelifted example here. Facelifted, it's going to be a silver on the Cashmere and Sahara, or Cashmere and what? I forget what's that called. Cashmere and Savannah, not Sahara. Cashmere and Savannah interior. So white on Cashmere and Savannah, very old man or old lady spec. This one is a sport package though, so it makes up for that a little bit. I see it has the Harman Kardon system. You can see that right there. What else can we see here? Burl walnut trim. Do they say anything? Because I'm not really seeing much. So it has the, wow, nothing. Doesn't really say anything. Heated seats, thanks. Automatic trunk closer, AMG wheels, blah, blah, blah. What else can we see here? Nothing really. It's white on beige. Not a bad spec. I mean, it's clean. I'll give it that. It's clean. How many miles does this car have? 56,000 miles, so pretty clean. And they want $26,000 for this. So, you know, it is a 2010. It's the first model year of the facelift, so you do have a little bit more value there. However, it's not a good spec at all. I mean, it's sport package, but white on the Cashmere and Savannah is just really standard for one of these. You'll see a lot of these cars running around. The only thing it has going for it is low miles and sport package. For me, yeah, it's not worth the 26 grand. I'd say for me, being low miles and sport package. And does this, I mean, it is a 2010. They don't really show the headrest at all. They do kind of. Yep, these, it doesn't, could possibly be premium package 2, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, a lot of white S classes. I don't know if I did a right like spread on them because there were a lot of other colors. They just happened to be the ones that I picked that were good priced. So maybe the white S classes are you know, less desirable, and that's why they're a better price. This one though, I'd be willing to go up to, it's a 2010, so it's not even 2013, 56,000 miles. I'd be willing to go up to $17,500 for this one. Okay, I'd be willing to go up to $18,000 for this one. I don't think it's worth that much, but I mean, it has low miles and it's clean, so I can't really take that away from it. Moving on to our next example, another 2010. This one's gonna be a Dezino package car. Actually, no, this one's not a Dezino package car. This is simply just an S600. So this is a facelifted S600. The previous S600s we were looking at, no, that's facts, Verde. That's facts. The black ones are always beat up. You always see the black ones driving around and they're whipping through traffic. They're dented up. They got they have a tinted windshield. It's funny because I always get tinted windshields, but I know that if you see someone with a tinted windshield, they're probably up to no good, or they're probably someone who, like, yeah, drives the F out of their cars. And so, yeah, tinted windshields, you'll see them on aftermarket wheels. The black ones are just definitely beat a lot more. They're more gangster, so they appeal to a different audience. Right, what we have right here, though, is a facelifted S600 with low miles, 67,000 miles. It's in black. Is this a Dezino edition of the S600? I believe the black ones only came with the, I mean, it has a Dezino interior, but the exterior, is that a Dezino color? I don't believe so. In fact, let's see, 2010, let's bring it up. We got the brochures. We can actually look all this stuff up. 2010. Oh, they didn't even mention the Dezino packages in 2010. But let's just scroll over to the 2013 where they show it again. Dezino. Where was I looking at? Maybe 2011? Dezino. Sorry, you guys are not. I'm trying to find the Dezino package, like where it shows the different options. Because we looked at that earlier. Dezino. Doesn't help that none of this stuff is loading on the side. I can't read it. Where are those 3 Dezino packages? Oh, right here. Yeah, it's not a Dezino, it's not like a Dezino exterior color, just a Dezino interior color. But again, it is an S600, so you're able to get all these different things customized. Verde asks, is it better to get a 6-cylinder S-Class as a daily? You know, that's totally up to you. In America, I don't know where you're from, but in America, the only 6-cylinder S-Class is going to be the hybrid. So if you're into that, that is a good option. I do believe that that is going to be a little bit more in terms of maintenance than just a regular old naturally aspirated V8. So in my opinion, I'd recommend getting the V8 one as a daily, or the naturally aspirated V8 one as a daily, because it is such a good engine. But yeah, the 6-cylinder one, they don't have those here, but if they did, yeah, I think those 6-cylinders are also good as well. They're basically the same thing as the V8s, but just 2 less cylinders. They have a lot of the same parts, so in terms of reliability, they're pretty much the same. Just maintenance and running costs might be a little higher for the V8. So if you're in a market that has the V6, you know, I wouldn't recommend going against that at all. In fact, you know, with these S classes, you'll see in a lot of foreign countries, like I'm speaking as an American, when I travel over to Europe, all these S classes have small engines. So like, I think, yeah, the small engines are good. People just like the fact that they're in an S class. Anyway, moving back to this, we have a facelifted version of the S600, so the V12 bi-turbo. They added this badge here that is not standard. Interior, we have the two-tone, the Mystic Dizino interior. One of my favorite interiors available for this car. It's a two-tone, but instead of having the burl walnut or whatever wood trim, it has black piano trim, which looks so much better than all those wood trims. It makes the car look a lot more modern. We can see this car is not escaping the floppy armrest leather. We can see that starting to get loose right here. But again, this is a Dizino car. You also have the rear entertainment package, as well as having the rear seat comfort package. So these seats actually recline, and you do have 4-zone climate control with this example. See right here. We also have the TVs. And yeah, this is an S600, so it's pretty much going to come pretty much it's pretty much going to be fully loaded from the factory. You really don't have to option much. It's just going to be wheels, paint, and maybe some, you know, infotainment stuff like your iPod stuff, but that's like, I mean, this is a facelift car, so I believe that was standard, and these wheels are going to be what comes standard on the S600 as well. Very good example here, very clean. The exterior is going to be a Capri blue metallic, so very nice exterior color. It looks almost black, but this is actually a blue. 67,000 miles. They're asking 67,000 miles, and they're asking $29,000. So again, this is one of the nicer examples of an S600. We saw a lot of cheaper examples. Those pre-facelift ones are going to go for a lot less than the facelift ones, simply because, you know, they had a lot, especially the interiors are just a lot different. For the facelift ones, you can see here, even the pre-facelift 2009 plus, really, they're going to have this nicer interior. It's just the 2007s that have the worst interior. So that's why those were so low. The S600 though, if you get a nice one, you're going to be paying a lot. I'd say for this one, I'd be willing to go up to 23,500, maybe 24,000 for this one, simply because it's in really nice shape, under 70,000 miles, and it's in one of the best color combos I've seen so far. Cool. He says he loves his M112 CLK 320, perfect daily. Yeah, the CLK 320 is a good car. A lot of people don't, you know, they sleep on them because they don't understand what it is. CLK, that's not a thing anymore. What is the miles per gallon on that? And what engine is in that, Jacob? Anyway, moving on to our next one. We have another 2010 example. This one is going to have 115,000 miles just about. It's going to be gray. It's going to be an AMG Sport Package car. I can't tell if this is a scuff or a reflection. It kind of looks like a scuff. Yeah, definitely a scuff. So we have scuffs on the bumper off the bat. Great car. Let's see what we're working with in terms of the interior spec. Again, I picked a lot of these because I really like this interior. This is going to be that black and Sahara interior. I believe that's what it's called. Black and Sahara. What is this? It was a 2011, right? Yeah, black and Sahara. Or Sahara beige and black. Yep, black and Sahara. Actually, no, this is the Dizino interior. I'm geeking. This is the Dizino interior. The one thing about this car, though, it has a ton of miles, and with this perforated leather, like, it is wearing a lot. Like, there are a lot of cracks on this, so I don't even know if the seat's any good, or do you have to get this completely redone? But yeah, Dizino interior on this car. You can see it also has a panoramic sunroof. Passenger area looks a lot better, but again, this is like the same thing as the Mystic interior for the Dizino, but it has this burl walnut instead of black piano trim. I do like the black piano trim, but this is second best in terms of interior for me. You also have the rear power sunshades, rear climate control. So this is a 4-zone car, so it has the rear moving seats as well. So power rear seats on top of being a Dizino interior car. So this is a really good spec off the bat. 11,900, asking 12 grand for this spec is actually pretty impressive, because the amount of options it has already is way more than anything we've looked at for this price. Yeah, I mean, not a bad example, honestly. This one also is a 2010, so you have the most reliable engine. You don't have the twin turbo one, even though the twin turbo one does have a lot more torque and power. This one is just a really good, really smooth, really reliable engine. We have a gray car with a Dezino interior, rear comfort package car. Okay, let me say that again. We have a gray example with a Dezino interior, as well as wait, what? Hold on. So this is confusing actually, because it says Dezino, right? But it is not it's a Dezino interior, but it's not a okay, so it's a non-Dezino color combo, but it's a Dezino leather interior, if that makes sense. So wait, that's not it. What am I looking at? I'll just bring this up because I have to explain this. So it has this interior, but it's Dezino. In terms of the two-tone, but the Dezino one, oh, it's 2011. Yeah, 2011 shows the Dezino. Nope. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. It's like impossible to find some of this stuff. I'm so confused. Wasn't that just here? Wasn't that just here? It's like I can't tell because I can't read. Oh, no. No, where? I could have sworn that was on the 2011 brochure that the Dezino was there. That's just or was it 2008? I'm trying to find those Dezino colors. Yeah. So this is the Dezino interior, but it doesn't have the black piano. It's weird, right? I don't know. Maybe they changed the Dezino interior slightly for the facelift models, and they didn't include this black piano veneer. But basically, it's a Dezino interior, but with the burl walnut trim. 2010 model, so old engine, but a facelifted car. It also has the panoramic roof, as well as the rear climate control. So fully loaded pretty much, honestly. This is one of the best cars we've seen so far in terms of options, just having a good combination of options and trim. I'd be willing to go for this car having 115,000 miles and its seat being in really bad condition. It looks like someone took like a razor blade on it. I don't know why, but I'd be willing to go up to 10 grand for that. I think 10 grand would be a really good deal, and then you could probably get this reupholstered somehow. But yeah, 10 grand for this car would be a really good deal in terms of options. You just obviously have to make sure that it has a good maintenance history. Verde said he's been cross-shopping the CPO C43 and S450. Funny how they're the same price. Oh, you're talking about the new S450? That one is a V6, yes, I believe. And yeah, those are two very different cars, but it is funny how they're the same price. The C43 is an okay car. But I suggest if you're going to go that route, just get the S450. The C43, you're going to be, you know, it's cool, but like when you drive around, you're going to see the C63. People are going to make fun of you for getting the fake AMG. So, I mean, if you care about all that stuff, I think that would be really annoying having C43. But the S450, I mean, it's S-Class. People don't really care about the trim level that much. Cool. Moving on to our next example, we have a 2011. This one is going to be the hybrid. So this one is going to have the M272 paired with the electric motor. Yeah, what you'll realize, Jacob, is that all these super luxury flagship sedans, or flagship models in general, they bottom out at 90% off. So 10% of the original price, exactly what you said. That is statistically where these cars bottom out and where you should plan on them bottoming out. So say for example, like a fully loaded S-Class, like a W222, right? A fully loaded newer S-Class is probably like in the 150s. They're going to bottom out at 15 grand eventually. You just got to wait for the time, right? So these ones are not as expensive because they are the previous model year. Inflation wasn't as high. So they're going to bottom out around 10 grand. Yeah, same engine as well. This one is a 2011, so it has the old engine, but 2012 and 2013 do have the bi-turbo. This one has the old engine, the last model year to get this engine. So in my opinion, 2011s would be the best year if you wanted the old school engine. This one is also a sport package as well. It's on the AMG wheels. They're in black. Not sure how I feel about the black wheels. Looking at this leather, at first it looked like the premium leather, but I can see some of the texture here, so it's not the premium leather. We can also see armrest is looking a little worn, but not too bad. Looking at the headrests, you can tell this is not a premium package 2 car. It does not have the headrests are movable. The premium package 2 has not movable headrest with the butterfly flap things, whatever you want to call them. They do have the automatic rear window shades though. Looking at more pictures, no rear climate control. It has the panoramic roof, I believe. You can see here it has the dark eucalyptus wood because this is an S400. It has its own wood trim. And then you can see here it says hybrid. Usually it says 4MATIC if you have a 4MATIC. I'm not sure what it says if you have a regular car. Nothing. Yeah, nothing if you have a regular one, but hybrid. So you have a hybrid logo there. We can see the hybrid. This is that V6. Not too sure what's going on here under the hood. They disconnected the pipes. So not really sure what's going on here, honestly. Nothing to say at all, which is really horrible when you have these types of problems going on under the hood. Like, what's going on here, man? You're missing your intake pipes. They don't connect anywhere, so they're just drawing hot air into the engine. That's not good. Anyway, going back to this car, just pricing it out. It's an S400, so obviously it's going to be a little more complicated. But it's going to be a V6, so a little bit more reliable in that sense in terms of running costs. 10.4 was they're asking. It has 126,000 miles, so high mile example. I would want to pay that much. It is a hybrid. You're going to run into those problems, especially with high mile hybrids, especially with the model years getting older and older and older. I'd be willing to go up to $8,000 for this S400. Moving on to our next example, we have a 2012. This one's going to be a S350 Blue Tech. So this one's actually going to be a diesel. So it has the 3-liter OM642, I believe, the 3-liter turbo diesel, single turbo. You know, it's just an evolution of the 5-cylinder. Did I say 3-liter? 5? It's a 3-liter V6. So it's an evolution, not an evolution. I don't want to say that because the 5-cylinder was a straight 5. This one is a V6, but again, it's a turbo diesel. Very good engine in terms of reliability, very few problems, and they do make really good power. I wouldn't like not recommend getting an S-Class diesel. I think, you know, you could get really good running costs in terms of keeping it low. The only problem is if you want to deal with all that, I bet if you get one of these tuned and deleted, you're gonna be making good power. So, and plus you can hear that turbo whistle with the diesels. I think it's pretty cool. Up to you though. The diesel, obviously, the driving experience for a diesel is going to be a little bit less refined. You're gonna have a little more vibrations, but the low end torque is going to be there, and it's going to be really nice, honestly. You can see this one, black interior, pretty standard stuff here. I do believe these are going to be those comfort headrests. It also has the panoramic roof as well. You can see this one is a 4MATIC diesel. So pretty cool there. This one has a Harman Kardon. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the Bang & Olufsen that was available from 2011 plus. This one is a 2012, so it was an option, but not spec'd for this car. Just a clean example. I love these multi-spoke wheels. Again, as I mentioned on the later models, they look a little bit more shiny. It's just a really good spec, honestly. Black on black, multi-spoke wheels, diesel, 4MATIC. Really can't go wrong with something like this. For me, this one, wow, for some reason my mouse like all of a sudden gets really sensitive and then gets not sensitive. I don't know what's going on. 2012 S350 Blue Tech. They want 20 grand for it. It has 109,000 miles. Yep, that's about right. You'll see a lot of these, especially like high-end diesel products, like the S-Class, like an A8 diesel, like the BMW 740D. Like, people are going to pay a lot of money for those simply because they're really rare. And 19 grand, you know, it is a fair deal according to Cargurus. For me though, having 110,000 miles, I wouldn't want to pay 20 grand for a 2012 S-Class. I'd be more around the $16,800 mark, somewhere close to 17, but not quite 17. 16,800 is where I'd be at for one of these. And if you get one of those, if you get one of these for that price, I think that would be a really good deal. What's in the, wait, what engine do you have in the CLK 320, Jacob? That you have, oh, it says it should last 200K. Old style trans, is that the 5-speed? I'm just guessing here. I don't know what year your car is. M2. This one, yeah, I would be around 16.8 for this example right here. Cool, moving on to our last example. We have an overpriced one, a 2013 last model year, 61,000 miles. They want 25 grand for it. Let's see. Yep, I mean, black on tan. We can see it also is a sport package car. It's going to be black on the cashmere and Savannah interior. Not my favorite interior, but black on beige. for some reason, the S-Class is the only car, in my opinion, that looks normal with an interior like this. But this one, as you can see, no panoramic roof. It's on the AMG peeler wheels. I'll just call them that. Interior, no rear climate control, no premium leather. Does it have the window shades at least? This was not a good example. I don't even know why I brought this up. 2013, last model. You really can't tell anything. Has a cheap floor mat, so that's a red flag already. Scrolling through the interior, I mean, AMG package, that's all we can see so far. The exterior actually looks pretty clean in terms of cosmetics. How many miles did it have? 61,000 miles. So low amount of miles, high price, 25 grand they're asking for a 2013 last model year, but the spec isn't the best. Without any more information, let's see, hold on, let's read and see if we can find something. It says the twin turbo V8, 429 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque, something like that. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a fast one if you want that. But in terms of options, I don't really know what this has that makes it unique. No panoramic roof. It doesn't look like it has the premium package 2. But it is sport package, so it has that going for it. For me, having this low miles, but being a sport package only and being a last model year, I'd be willing to go up to $19,500. Cool. That wraps up the ads for today. So wrapping it up and rehashing everything in terms of what to look for in these cars, you really want to decide whether you want a turbo V8 or a naturally aspirated V8 if you're going for the S550. You can also decide whether you want a hybrid or a diesel. You have all the choices in the world. So everything that you want, you can basically have in some sort of way with this car. And if you want to get even more fancy, you can get the V12 if you want. Most people aren't going to stay away from the V12 simply because the running costs are really high and they're rare and people don't want to deal with that. But if you're a car expert or a car fanatic, I guess, then the V12 will be one to get. Those are going to be the ones that hold the value the most in terms of longevity. The ones that are probably going to be very sought after in the future when V12s, are no longer a thing anymore. So you're going to have varieties of V12s and you're going to have luxury sedans. I don't want to just say sedans because it could be other luxury vehicles, but luxury vehicles, V12s as well. Those are going to be, in my opinion, they're going to be pretty desirable in like 10, 15 years. People are like, wow, like you have a V12. Like I remember when that was a thing, but it's going to take a while. In terms of model years to get, if you're going to get a V8 and S550, I highly suggest getting a 2010 or a 2011. That's a sweet spot where you have the facelifted car, but you also have the old engine. The new engine didn't come till 2012, 2013. So if you want a turbo engine with tons of tuning potential and lots of power, get to 2012 and 2013. However, I think for the average buyer of the S-Class, trying to cover the most broad general, I don't know what to call it, buyer class. So it's the end of the show. We're going for an hour 45. As you can tell, I'm out of words. The best example to get is going to be a 2010, 2011 because you're going to have a facelift model with the naturally aspirated, most reliable M273 V8. And you're making good power with that engine too. So it's not like you're missing out on anything really. You're just missing out on that tuning potential. But in terms of horsepower, it's like literally like maybe like 40 horsepower down. The torque is where you're missing it. But again, that's a naturally aspirated engine for you. You're not going to have that low end torque. Verde said, can you do a video on the W222? Yeah, of course. I'll do a video on the W222. In fact, I'll probably do that soon, simply to follow up on this one, because the W222 is a very, very good car. Verde said he drives a Camry, making enough money where I can afford a luxury car soon, so been looking. Yeah, man, you definitely want to do your research when you're buying one of these. You can either get screwed or you can get something really nice and people will like, it'll be a really respectable like car. So definitely want to do your research. You're in the right place. So what's next? Let's see. What car am I doing next? Bring up this page thing down here. It's a good question, honestly. I have a bunch of things here. So these are all over the place, by the way, so you guys can let me know what you think. I got the Murcielago, I have the Porsche Cayman, I have WRX STI, the BMW Z4M, VW Phaeton, Rolls-Royce Ghost, the Lexus GSF, the Chevy SS, or a GMT 800 video. I can do a whole bunch. Like, I don't know which one I want to do, really. Yeah, I don't know yet. I haven't decided, honestly. So it's going to be a surprise for tomorrow, I guess, because I got to think about that. But yeah, just going back to this. You want me to do the Phaeton? I can do the Phaeton. The Phaeton's a good car to do. I think I'll do that, actually. Yeah, Phaeton's good. Yeah, we'll do the Phaeton. Yeah, Phaeton is a crazy car, actually. The technology in a Phaeton is so unprecedented and so ahead of its time. Like, people don't understand. A Phaeton is literally just a Bentley with a Volkswagen badge. And yeah, a lot of the styling cues and the features found in the Phaeton were later found in the Continentals and whatnot. So, very cool car. We'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, what I was saying with this, 2010 to 2011 is, my opinion, the sweet spot for these cars if you're getting S550. Of course, if you're getting an S400, they only come facelifted plus, so 2010 plus. If you're getting a diesel one, the diesel ones, they come 2012 to 2013, so you can only get them at the same time that they produce the V8 bi-turbo cars, so those are also going to be pretty rare and expensive. So in terms of the most cheapest, the best value, 2010 to 2011. The pre-facelift ones are going to be even cheaper, but I wouldn't want to get a pre-facelift W221. If you're going to get a W221, get a facelift car. They look a lot better. They have a lot more standard features. The pre-facelift ones also have a little bit more problems. So stay away from the pre-facelifts unless you can find one for like $7,000 and it's a really nice spec. But other than that, if you're going to spend $10,000 plus, I would recommend doing the getting the S550 with. I don't even know what I was saying. I was reading your chat. That's why I lost my train of thought. You said sleeping on the M340i video. Yes, I am. I've completely forgot about that, actually. So let me write that down. That is also a video I can do. I'm also sleeping on the M550i video as well. So I'll write that down as well, because both of those cars are amazing. You know what? I'll probably do the M340i this week because I do need to get that car done because that is a really good car. And a lot of people do like that car. And a lot of people are shopping for that car. So I'm going to do that. So tomorrow, it's going to be the Phaeton. What's tomorrow? Thursday or today? Today is Wednesday. So tomorrow's Phaeton. Friday is going to be M340i. Cool. All right. If you guys have any more questions, just drop them real quick. I'll wait for like another 30 seconds or so. But other than that, I'm going to head out. If you haven't liked the video already, hit that like button. It takes like a couple seconds. I see 6 people in here. We have 6 likes. One of them is including me. So I know one person at least hasn't liked the video. So hit that like button. Do it before I end so I can, you know, I don't have to, you know, get people to like after the video. Or using my other accounts to boost my likes. I don't want to do that. Cool. All right. Well, shout out to the people that made it to the end of this very long video. We had a lot of information to go over, as you can see here. Tons and tons of stuff to go over for the W221, but all necessary information. Simply because it's a global car. It came with a whole bunch of different engines, a whole bunch of configurations, a whole bunch of options. And on top of that, it being an S-Class is going to be at the forefront of technology. So everything that, as I mentioned, is developed for the S-Class, you'll see on later cars down the line. This came out in 2005 with a lot of these standard features. So it's pretty crazy that almost 20 years ago, you could have all this stuff. But yeah, this has been the W221 S-Class. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys got a lot of good information. And if you're shopping for one, I hope you find the best one possible. Appreciate you, Jacob. Here every day showing support. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow with the Volkswagen Phaeton. As always, peace. Have a good one.